Yeah, every wall will fall. Like, everyone comes from a different background, and like, I come from a fairly conservative background myself. Especially like my dad is super into like Billy Graham, which is very problematic for like my existence around him. Um, oh man, I'm sorry, Willy Dilly Wonka Donk. I love fashionism. I hate fascism, but I love fashionism. Time for some thirsty fans. Um, so yeah, those were three of we've gone through three of my segments. I feel like am I a real streamer? Chat, am I a real streamer now? And maybe I'll save the other topics for another day. And there's always news coming out. You get thumbs sideways from me. Dang! Wait, is the thumb sideways this? Are you Willy Dilly Wonkadonk? Are you threatening me right now? Are you threatening me? This is political intimidation. Um, that's fine. I'm not a very experienced streamer, so I'm doing my best and I'm stumbling through life as best I can. You know what? That's kind of what that's the philosophy I'm trying to adopt. Willy Dilly Wonkadonk. I want to do things poorly and be okay with doing them poorly, because you got to keep doing something poorly before you can do it well, right? So that's my goal, to not be intimidated to do things poorly. I'm a professional at doing things poorly. Um, Dang, every wall will fall. That's deep. In the act of doing, you are. A. I love streaming with y'all. This has been a really fun like month or so. Uh, Prior to this, I've only ever done streams that were for my podcasts, and my new goal is to kind of stream every weeknight. Um, I would like that very much, and to kind of like just make this a recurring thing. And hey, if it takes off, maybe I'll stream during the day too. What's my dream job? You know, my dream job was to make my own games. Like I always wanted to be a game designer or a game developer. Until I tried my hand at coding, and I really, really, really do not like coding. Um, and so then I did kind of the next best thing and just started writing about games instead. And yeah, that's basically, I honestly, writing about games is kind of like my dream job. The only issue is it's really hard to get paid to write about games. And for a long while, I actually have been doing that fairly successfully. Like I've been doing that professionally for about 8 years now, full time. And yeah, it's only within like the last year or so where work started drying up due to like COVID and all kinds of other outside pressures that I've kind of been looking around, casting around to see what I could do. And one of my passions is talking about politics and trying to make the world a better place by advocating for how I think the world could be better, and talking about different topics. And yeah, I'm right now. I think I'd be happy if I could just do that for a while. Let's see. Am I a streamer? Asks the person streaming. Okay, but like a successful streamer. Um, um, your dream job is being a porn star, Willy Dilly Wonka Dog. Don't have the social skills to do it. You know, it's surprising. You do actually need some social skills in like the porn industry. As somebody who is like adjacent to that and very sex positive, I can vouch for the fact that you need social skills to do that job, and to navigate that industry. You need to be good at making friends with the right people and kind of keeping up those contacts. Okay, I don't know. How long have I've been streaming here? I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. That's pretty good. Twitter and OnlyFans can help that. True. Uh, so I think I have it in me to maybe do one more segment. The problem is I did not go and find the specific pieces that I might need to finish another segment. Let me cast around to see if I can find these real quick, okay? Because I think they would be good to talk about. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. This is my like elevator music. Like I'm searching. I'm searching for things. Elevator music, yeah. Found it. So, here we go. I suppose, let's see what you're saying. COVID has seemingly had a bigger impact than the crash of '08. I suppose it's because the bottoming out was immediate and we still have no idea as the extent of what the outcomes will be. Yes, true, every wall will fall. I encourage you, and anyone who's interested in economics, to go check out Professor Richard Wolff. He is an excellent economist, an award-winning economist, who specializes in Marxism. He's a Marxist economist, which is quite rare in our world. And he does an excellent job kind of talking about the constant pitfalls of capitalism. In fact, even prior to COVID, people were expecting us to have an imminent economic collapse. Because all of the conditions pointed towards our economy just completely imploding due to a number of factors that just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And yes, his Dick Wolf. But I really like him. He has a really fantastic way of speaking simply about really complicated topics, and kind of distilling them down into digestible words, really. And so basically, we were already headed for a much larger recession, if not in economic depression, prior to COVID. And COVID has made things so much worse. Like, economically speaking, we are all completely boned. The only reason it doesn't seem like that so far is because we've been able to kind of uh, I guess it doesn't seem like that so far because no one's acting like it so far. But and to be honest, a lot of economics is just how people act and the amount of value they place in things. And part of the problem is that, yeah, we've just been delaying and delaying and buying ourselves more time, which is good, but the economic effects of COVID keep dragging on because we're still in the middle of this huge pandemic that is still raging, and we're still on course to lose another 200,000 people by the end of the year. And the economic fallout from this is probably going to be worse than like the Great Depression. Like already, I think like last month they were saying that the rent crisis could put more people on the street just that month than the entirety of the Great Depression. Like we're talking about like homelessness on a scale we have never seen before. So like it's bad. It's bad out there. Yeah, yikes indeed. Something like a third of renters couldn't make their payments. Which has okay, a third of renters couldn't make their payments. I'm gonna bring up a little story here that I saw recently. I saw it in passing. I didn't look too far into it, but you just made me think about it again. All right. Okay. Here's a story. They have launched a gig company along the same lines as Uber, but it's for evicting people from their homes and from their apartments. So basically, this company just gets random people who are like, yeah, I'll work for you, sure, to go to people's houses and kick them out for money. Like, this is true dystopian bullshit. Like, it is incredibly messed up. Yeah, this article came out like 9 days ago, so it's a bit old, but yeah, the company is called Civvl, which, oh, the layers to that, it's like an onion. Yeah, honestly, they might as well have called it Evict. Everyone will fall. It's pretty messed up. Let's see. Oh, since COVID-19, many Americans fell behind in all aspects. The button below this statement is not for a GoFundMe or a petition for calling for rent relief. Instead, it's the following call to action from a company called Civvl. Be hired as eviction crew. Like, we've devolved so far as an economy to the extent that we are just hiring poor people to evict other poor people from their homes. And that's kind of like I like a couple of years ago, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but a lot of people were hailing the gig economy as like something that was revolutionary and so convenient and so amazing as like a way for people to make extra money. But the reality is that it launched, and essentially the good wages that were initially paid were only paid in order to muscle out competition, and then wages fell. So it basically became a really, really, really crappy job that wasn't really sustainable for a lot of people. And so you had to take on more gig work and more gig work and more gig work. And like, there are some people who like do Lyft while also delivering food. And now they can also evict people from their homes when they have a spare minute. Yeah, it's pretty shocking. And the worst part is this startup will probably make good money during this pandemic. It might have its day and then like fade into obscurity, or like, you know, whatever, maybe even go out of business. But like right now, they're going to make a ton of money while people are suffering. And they're literally profiting off of the misery of other people that are brought on by the exploitation of the same people who probably invested in this startup app. So it's pretty messed up. Yeah, here's Helena Duncan, a Chicago-based paralegal who also participates in housing activism. It's fucked up that there will be struggling working-class people who will be drawn to gigs like furniture hauling or process serving for a company like Civvl, evicting fellow working-class people from their homes so they themselves can make rent. Yep. Civvl explains the opportunity plainly. There is plenty of work due to the dismal economy. Unemployment is at a record high, and many cannot or simply are not paying rent and mortgages. We are being contacted by frustrated property owners and banks to secure foreclosed residential properties. By the banks. The banks who already, within like the last, the last several years, have been responsible for one of the largest recessions that put so many people out of their homes before, are doing it again, this time using the gig economy to do it. It's pretty messed up. And, yeah, the worst part is this will probably pay well for people who are willing to do it. And this is how they keep us from gaining that class consciousness, right? To kind of work together to make the world a better place. Because instead of armed guards or police who have typically kind of worked to evict people from their homes, now they can pay someone a low wage to go do it for them. A low-paid working-class person to go evict another low-paid working-class person. And that's how you get people to hate each other. Let's see. Capitalists were the only ones pressuring media to herald the gig economy as the savior in light of the evaporating manufacturing. It's true. Yeah, capitalists were the only ones who were hailing the gig economy as like this savior. But really, there was a period of time where like Uber paid really, really good money, and Lyft paid really, really good money. And those times are gone, because they were only doing that to muscle out like taxi companies from different markets. And somehow they're still losing money. So it's really depressing when you think about the enormity of this problem. We've only scratched the surface, but the existence of something like Civvl is so indicative of such a large and sprawling problem that it really boggles the mind. So I guess that was a little impromptu segment. Oh, wait. There might be a little bit more. Let's see here. Okay. The company at first glance appears to be some kind of Nathan for You-esque prank, sicking precarious gig jobs onto vulnerable people, but Civvl is connected to a larger and real gig economy company called On Call, which describes itself as an app that provides on-demand task services to non-urban communities beyond main city areas. On Call is the developer behind other, more believable TaskRabbit-esque apps like Lawn Fixer, Clean Quick, and Move Quick. Given the fact that Civvl is advertising all over the country and that On Call, though not popular, does exist, it seems as though Civvl is actually is an attempt to simplify the process of evicting people who cannot pay their rent during the pandemic. To put the business of On Call more simply, Ice-T said in a Parent Cameo video, it's basically Uber but for side hustle drive jobs. You dig it? Ice-T's representatives did not respond to requests for comment. Wow. Okay. Wait. Wait. So did they... Another vertically shot selfie video from Omarosa Manigault Newman, she got famous on The Apprentice, offers generic words of congratulations to on-call CEO Paul Francis on his app. So, basically, on-call paid people on Cameo to endorse their company. That's honestly really pathetic and awful, and I hate it. I hate so much about this story. Gosh. I can't. It's very dishonest, Devon said of Civvl. It's like, oh, don't call us a hitman. We don't pull the trigger. We just connect you with someone who's willing to. Jeez. Yeah, we're in dystopia times, people. Except that we don't have any of the upsides of like living in Blade Runner dystopia. Like we don't have cool mechanical arms or like super advanced flying cars. We don't have those fun things. We just have everything's awful and the planet's on fire.